Smoke him, hard shot. Smoke him, hard shot. Smoke him, hard shot. He's going down.
Smoke him, hard shot! 38! Smoke him, hard shot, Mega Meat! Smoke him, hard shot! Let's go get him! Smoke him, hard shot!
That's a stud. That is a stud. I want to tell you the story about Roberto. So Roberto spent a lot of time back here behind my house last year. I've got a feeder right there on the other side of the pond, and he spent a lot of time at that feeder. He was a beautiful 10-pointer, crab claw 4s with a kicker off his left too, and I was really surprised that he made it. Looked for his sheds a little bit, but I never really find many sheds, so we didn't search too hard. Well, you're gonna see a trail camera picture from May. When I got that deer's picture, I didn't know it was him. I didn't, click instantly. But what I did notice is that for May, he was advanced with his growth compared to every other deer. And compared to normal growth, he was really advanced. So I got really excited. Watching him grow, in early July, this deer, he looked like he was almost finished. I mean, late June, early July, he had a full rack, looking like he was gonna be around 170. I've got switchgrass over there across the road. Here, I just have, I've got woods, I got a little food plot on the side of my front yard on the left and the right of my driveway up there under the power line. And then I've got a power line strip that runs through the heart of the woods, and it's not doing too good right now because it's kind of at the end of its life. It's been in there for, 3 or 4 years. So I do need to redo it, but that food plot there is all I've got besides right here in the yard. However, across the road over there, I've got a sanctuary, I've got switchgrass, I've got natural growth. I just let what was old cow pasture just grow up into sage and cedars and briars. The only thing I've done to it is I've cut the Bradford pears out of it. And then I took my field out of crops and I put it in switchgrass, and I fenced it off and put cattle in it. Well, I noticed this deer, Roberto, he loved the switchgrass. So when I realized that this deer was one that I was, probably gonna go after, I took the cows out of that and put it back into crops. So I called my farmer and I said, hey, when are you gonna plant beans over here at the sack? And he said, well, we're planning on coming over there next week. And I said, well, I wanna sell these cows and I want you to put this in beans as well. And because he had it in corn the year before, then I kept it out of, no, he had it in beans, and he didn't put it in corn because I put cattle in it. And I mean, we put up fences, I sowed the pasture grass, fertilized, spraying, done all the things to get a good, pasture stand over there. Well, I didn't want this deer to leave, and across the road and across the creek, there was beans on neighbors. So I didn't want him to leave and go to their beans, so I pulled the cows out, took some of the fence down, and I had the farmer plant that in beans. So now I've got a crop field of beans, I got 7 acres of switchgrass, and I got a clover plot right there. And he is sticking around. I'm getting his picture all the time. Well, for the longest time, I was just calling him the Big Ten. But my project manager, Robert, he lives in a house over there. And then one day, my buddy Sean, he just randomly said, hey, you got any new pictures of Roberto? And I was like, do what? And then it clicked. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good name. So the name stuck. Well, we watched him grow up. He was sticking around in this switchgrass, sticking around in my beans. So when September comes around, we didn't go in there and hunt the deer because I was taking my wife hunting at another farm for a big monster 8-pointer. We got some shots at the deer, but ultimately all clean misses, and that deer actually disappeared on October 16th, and I haven't seen him since. I don't know if he's alive or dead or whatnot, but with Roberto, I didn't get to hunt him till like mid-October because taking my wife hunting, then I had an elk hunt in East Kentucky. Then after the elk hunt, Ohio opened, and I had a big buck up there that was daylighting like crazy. That's another story. The wind shifted on us opening day, spooked him out of the country. He ended up getting killed early November, like a mile away. And then my Illinois buck, I wanted to try to hunt him. So I basically left Roberto on the back burner until mid to the, like toward the, you know, getting to late October. You know, it was a cat and mouse game. I would go hunt him because I'd get his picture. You know, he'd show up right after dark. So I'd go in there and hunt and not see him, see other deer, but not see him. Then I'd get back to the truck, check the camera, and he would be in there. He would show up into the food plot as I'm walking back to the truck. Well, so we went to Illinois on October 27th and chased my Illinois target until November 5th. We hunted all day November 5th. After it got dark, we got down, we went back to the lodge at Graveyard, and we ate supper, took showers, and loaded up our clothes and stuff, and then hit the road. Didn't get home till like 3:30 in the morning. So it gets daylight at 6, it's 3:30, now it's November 6th, so I didn't want to, you know, go to sleep. I wanted to hunt. So I packed everything up, my tripod, my bow, and I went over there and got in the shooting house to hunt Roberto, self-filming. That morning I had a terribly rough time staying awake. I couldn't stay awake. So I hunted till like 8:30, and then I get out and I get out of the shooting house, I go to the truck, come to the house, take a nap for about an hour, and I go to work for a little while. I got done working, and I come to the house, and I loaded up and got in the blind again. So I hope you enjoy the hunt. Self-filming's not easy, but I did the best I could do.
All right, it's 3:02. Back in Kentucky, it's warm, so I'm wearing a t-shirt in. I forgot my boots, so I'm wearing Crocs. I ain't had much sleep. I did take a 2.5 hour nap from 9 to 11:30. Then I had to go to my office and get some stuff done, but yeah, man. Forgot my boots, but this is easy walking. Wind is south-southeast, so it's a really good wind. So, last picture I got was day before yesterday. This buck leaving the switchgrass right at dark. So, I feel like he's still back here. He should follow some does into this food plot and give me a good shot. Gun season opens Saturday. Today's Thursday, so I got tomorrow and then Saturday gun season opens, and then just there's no telling, you know. So here we go. I'm tiptoeing out in the food plot. The grass is so tall, if he's bedded in the grass, he won't be able to see me. I got my Smokies, doe in heat, and rutting buck. I'm gonna put it up here where the wind goes that way, so if he's over there, I want him to come right to it, right here. I put the cover on crooked. I put the wall cover and the ceiling cover on crooked because I did it by myself and I was in a hurry because I waited late to do it. But whatever, got it done. All right, it's 3:30 on the nose, baby. 3:30 on the nose. I'm looking for my camera, my battery charger, but I guess I forgot it. So I'm gonna have to turn this GoPro off and only run it when it's killing time. Cause, you know, I got back this morning with very little sleep. I started going through my gear. It was all in disarray and dusty and everything, but I'm in here self-filming. I'm about to paint my face. I'm not much on face paint, but you see how much my face is glowing in here. And here in a minute, when the sun drops down, when it gets about right at 4 o'clock, I'm gonna put on my black sweatshirt and I'll have my face painted. So we're gonna go ahead and paint the face up. But like I said, I'm running out of batteries, so I'm gonna have to cut this interview short. Holy cow, guys. I didn't check the cameras. I didn't get in here till 3:15. You see a minute ago where I walked out there and I put out the smell? Look at this. That's him at 3:02, right back there. He was in here this morning. He's on his feet at 3 o'clock. I'm praying that he comes into this food plot. You can see. Freaking stud. I don't think I spooked him or anything, but that's right out the back of the switch grass, right back there at 3:02. Here's a doe. Here's a doe. We may be in the game. I just checked my cameras. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here he is. Oh my God. Here he is. Oh my God. I told you. Look, I just told you guys. Oh my God. Did he see me? Oh my God. Did he see me? Or is he looking at the doe? Y'all aren't gonna believe this. Oh my God. What about that? He's right there. Oh my God, here it is. Here it goes, guys. Here it goes.
Smoked him, heart shot. 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 He's going down. Smoked him, heart shot. I told you it was gonna happen. I told you it was gonna happen, boys. I told you it was gonna happen. Smoked him, heart shot. Smoked him, heart shot. Smoked him, heart shot.
Smoked him, heart shot! 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 38! Smoked him, heart shot, mega meat! Smoked him, heart shot! Let's go get him! Smoked him, heart shot!
Boys, we just broke the ice, boys. We just broke the ice, boys. Y'all ready? And there he is. There he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Here he is. Oh my God. Here he is. Look at that shot, boys. 38. Oh my God. I told you I was hunting a monster. I told you I was hunting a monster.
Kentucky, November 6th. I checked my camera. I was in that shooting house over there. I checked my camera at 3:29. And I had his picture standing there perfect, like he posed for the camera. He went through at 3:02, and I checked at 3:01. Another deer had come through, but she looked like she was turning left. So I was like, oh God, and my wind's going that way. But when I got here, even though I'm wearing Crocs, I walked out here and put some Smokies, doe in heat, and some rut and buck out, just to, if he caught my wind up here, he might come straight in the scent trail instead of going swinging wider. Instead of trying to swing downwind of the food plot. He took a right and then come back through 10 minutes after that, or maybe less than 10 minutes after that little doe popped out. You'll see I was self-filming, I was shaking, but I did it right. I got him on the GoPro and the big camera. Look at this deer, y'all. We called him Roberto because my project manager that lives in that house up there, his name's Robert. That's a stud. That is a stud. Mainframe 10 with that split 3 right there. I watched this deer grow up. God, what a deer. Look at that. God, he's strong right there. Look at that 3, Dad. That's a 12-inch, maybe longer inch 3. That's at least a 12-inch 3. That one right there is probably a 10.5 with that extra 3 inches. That's a stud. God, what a deer. Man, what a deer.